I set out today, I wasn't quite thinking we were gonna go full space, full UFO vibes. But here we freaking are, and I'm so glad because it looks so good. Hi, hey, hello, my name is Sarah, and welcome to another hybrid video between The Sims 4 and Animal Crossing New Horizons, where I take my villagers from Animal Crossing New Horizons homes and build them in The Sims 4 as accurately as I possibly can. I've done this a few times before, and you guys seem to really enjoy these videos, so with that being said, today we're going to be taking a look at Cephalobot's house in Animal Crossing New Horizons, and then I'm going to try and recreate it. Now, Cephalobot, he's a robot octopus. He can be a little bit sassy, he's a little bit fashionable, he studies the trends, and he's definitely a character. With that being said, let's jump into Animal Crossing New Horizons really quickly and take a look at his house. So his house on the outside, it's very dark. It's black, like sheet metal for like the wallpaper, and the roofing is a grey sheet metal. It's kind of like giving me eco lifestyle metal vibes. And then he's got a bright yellow front door. That is just like the brightest thing about the outside of his house. So then for the landscaping, I did some black roses and I did some yellow pansies to mirror the black and yellow that we're seeing for his house. And then inside his house, it's very different to what you'd expect. It's very sci-fi, futuristic, almost alien-like, which is almost suggesting to me that Cephalobot himself comes from space, which is interesting. So you can see the stars in the wallpaper, so it's very much in space. And then his flooring is giving like rocket ship kind of flooring. And then he has a lot of futuristic elements with like his sleeping pod that he has down in the bottom right there, and then even he's got like this like controls for like a rocket ship. So I think basically the vibes that I'm getting from this space, it's giving me a lot of what you would see in Get to Work, like a lot of the stuff that comes maybe with the science career and aliens being a part of Get to Work. I feel like we're going to be able to use some Get to Work elements in The Sims 4 to try and recreate this. It's just, I was so impressed the first time I saw the inside of Cephalobot's house, just because it's so completely different to what I was expecting. And I'm intrigued, a little bit excited, and a little bit nervous to try and recreate it in The Sims 4. So as always, we are starting with the exterior of the house. And this is the shell that I use for all of my Animal Crossing builds, because regardless of how they look on the inside, and even how they look on the outside, they all have the same size of house. Maybe they'll have rounded walls or something, but they all have this same size of home, and they all also have this bump out where the front door is as well. So this is just the shell that I use for all of these houses. With that being said, we're going to need to do some roofing. Let's start with the roofing actually. So what I tend to do for all of these houses is just get a gabled roof. Honestly, I feel like this is the first one in ages where I feel like it actually is a gabled roof, because for the last few Animal Crossing Villages houses that I've done, a large majority of them feel like they come in at an angle here for the roof, and they're not actually all the way across. They come in at an angle, but I don't know how to do that. I'm not good at building in The Sims, and I'm not confident at building in The Sims, which is why I make builds like this to begin with, because they're silly. They're not supposed to be good. They're just trying to be as accurate as what they are in Animal Crossing, and I'm not a confident builder. So I feel like this might actually be the most accurate in a while. So with that being said, roof shingles, like I said, giving me kind of eco lifestyle metal vibes in grey. And I know that we've got, I was gonna say I know that we've got a grey, but that's not quite what I was expecting. This is a little bit closer, even though it's giving me kind of like greeny vibes. It's like a greeny grey, right? You're seeing that? I don't know, but I feel like that's closer to what Cephalobot's house is. By the way, if you see me looking over this way, I'm looking at reference images on my other monitor, so that's what I'm looking at over here. Nah, hold on. The lighting is weird. The lighting's weird? Hold on. I'm in daylight, and I've picked the black swatches. This is the black swatch, right? But it looks brown. Does it look brown to you, or are my eyes playing tricks on me? That looks brown, not black. So I don't know what's going on with that, but something is definitely a little bit freaking funky happening here, and it's mucking up the colors. Anyway, that's just gonna have to do. Now, for the walls, it also looks very metal to me in the walls, and I know that we got one that came with Eco Lifestyle as well. Here, this metal, and I'm hoping that we're gonna have a nice black. Yes, we are. Oh, perfect. At least that's gone well. That has gone excellently. That's freaking exactly what I was looking for. Thank you ever so much. Amazing. Do not tell me that I'm about to use freaking Journey to Bar 2 stone stairs. That is wild. Wild. Anyway, totally fine. Moving on to a front door. We're going to need a bright yellow front door. It's giving very steel again. I've had this door before. Who had this door? Hold on, I'm gonna have to figure out who had this door, and I'm gonna have to figure out what I did for this door. Just give me a second.
A few moments later.
It was Cherry. Cherry, the very first one I did of these builds, Cherry's house had the same door in a different color. The door that I ended up using, it worked fine for Cherry's house, but it does not work at all fine for Cephalobot's house. It does not have anywhere near the right vibe for Cephalobot's house. So I'm just gonna have to try and come up with something. Maybe I should just filter by the color yellow. What happens in these videos always is I spend so much time trying to make it exactly the same as what it is in Animal Crossing, and that's just not possible. So if I can just get certain elements that are the same, that's what I've got to focus on. Like, really the more important thing about this door is the fact that it's bright yellow. It is also giving me kind of modern, so I'm gonna see if maybe I can use this one, because this gives very modern as well, and it's square and it's interesting, and I think it's interesting for Cephalobot's house, and I think that's what I'm going to be focusing on. It's yellow, it's modern, it's interesting. So with that being said, this is going to be the outside of Cephalobot's house for the time being. Happy with that. I definitely think this is one of the best recreations for the outside of a house that I've been able to do for this series so far. Really, really happy with that. With that being said, we're gonna go inside now, and I'm gonna see what I can do for inside. So, okie dokie. So, I'm gonna get an archway, because these 4 squares that you see, this is like representative of the little wooden walkway we have to walk into the houses, and I just need an archway to just go into the next part of the room. So I'm just going to grab this one in black. I think I'm going to put it here so that now we have the right dimensions for the inside of this room. You'll be noticing in the photo that's now underneath my face cam of the inside of the house, we've got 2 spaces on either side of this walkway where my person is. So this is going to be accurate for the inside of this house now. So I guess because I'm looking at it, let's see what I can do for flooring. I'm going to come into the miscellaneous flooring and just have a look first, because we've got a very space-like flooring. If all else fails, I feel like I could do something like this. It gives the same kind of vibe, but I think now that I've had a look here and haven't immediately seen what I was looking for, I think I'm going to filter by get to work, because like I said, I think that with aliens and the science career being a thing, I was gonna say I think get to work will be good, but get to work's got like nothing. Okay, now this is gonna be an interesting thought, just stick with me though. Maybe it'll be get famous, because in get famous it's about building movie sets. I'm really stumped by the fact that Get to Work did not have what I needed. I really thought that Get to Work was gonna be it. Oh, what about Strangerville? What about Strangerville? I forgot about Strangerville. Now I know that this is nothing like what Cephalobot's floor is like, but it's more about the vibe. The vibe, it's interesting, it's odd, it's very eccentric. It's something that I could picture being in an alien freaking spaceship, and I think that's what's important. So I think out of everything, that's the best option that I've seen. I don't think we're gonna get better than that. I think that's just gonna have to do. The wallpaper though, and now I'm scared once again, although Strangerville straight away is looking like it might freaking come through. I had initially thought about doing what I did in Cherry's house, which was this wallpaper in this swatch, because that looks like twinkling stars, and Cherry's house on the inside is like a New York penthouse. Like you're looking outside in this apartment and there's just city lights everywhere. But this could also be like twinkling stars. I don't know. I think I like this one better. For the vibes, I think I like this one better. This looks like the twinkling stars, and I think that's what's important to me. All right then, no worries. Now, straight away, something super easy that I knew straight away when I was looking at this house and thinking, how the hell am I going to try and recreate this in The Sims 4, is that we've got a sleeping pod that could work absolutely freaking perfectly. It did not come with Get to Work. It came with Get Famous, but we do have sleeping pods. They look like this. It's interesting. I'm going to try, can I size it down? Because this house isn't going to be a functional house anyway, and I want it to just be sitting like it does in Cephalobot's house, where it's the 2 tiles. I think that's just going to be the way that it is. Like I said, no one is ever going to play with this house. This house is not going to be functional at all, so I think that's totally fine to be able to do that. Now, other big things, I'm gonna go into show all and I'm gonna filter by Get to Work, and I'm also now gonna include Strangerville, honestly, because Strangerville kind of surprised me with that. I just want to see if I can get some of these console tables that look very space-like. Or maybe even Get Famous, like I just mentioned before, the building of sets for movies. I'm pretty sure there's a sci-fi movie in there as well, so let me just filter by that one as well. You know, things like this is exactly the kind of thing that I'm wanting to use. I don't think we've got anything like this, though, is the thing, but I'm gonna get it out anyway, just so I know it's there. I've got something there.
5 minutes later.
Honestly, it is not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Oh, but hold on a second. I know it's really big. But I'm looking at the crane thing that he's got in the corner. Does this not kind of look like a crane? If I size it down, I could put that in the corner. Only comes in that color. I don't know. Hold on. I'm really... Oof, I thought that maybe I would have a little bit more luck than what I'm currently having, because that's the end of all of these options, and now I'm very concerned. I really thought that Get to Work was gonna do so much better than what it has done for me here. Oh, okay. I'm gonna need to enable a cheat. Hold on. I've just found this mission control. That would be perfect for the corner. The left-hand corner of this room, that'd be perfect. It's locked behind the astronaut career though. So when you're building in build mode, you can access these items that are locked behind career rewards or like unlockable stuff. You can use them, you've just got to enter a couple of cheats. So to do that, if you press Control Shift and C, it'll bring up the cheat console, and then you're going to type in testing cheats space on and press enter, and it should say cheats are enabled. You're then going to type bb.ignore gameplay unlocks entitlement. It's a long one. All the Sims 4 cheats super freaking long. You're going to press enter again, and it should say ignore gameplay unlocks cheat is on. So now, say if I go into bookshelves for a minute and then come back to desks, all of those desks are now unlocked and I can use the mission control desk. If we've even got it in like a gray and a blue. Okay, something is finally freaking going right with this build. Seriously, I am stoked with that. Thank you. Okay, I thought about coming in having a look at accent tables to see if I could find a different table to go here. But I can't, so I think I'm just gonna have to use this mission control again. What can I do? Honestly, I just don't have anything close to what I need, and I really thought that I would. I'm now even worried about trying to get a computer chair. This chair that Cephalobot has is very particular, and I don't think we're gonna have anything like it. So maybe it's just about finding a chair that looks like the kind of chair that would be the captain's chair in a spaceship. Straight away, this aeronaut chair, which also is locked behind the astronaut career, is looking like the vibes, and it does come in this like black and blue. So I think that's just what we're gonna have to go with. It looks like something that the captain would sit in. Sorry. I really had higher hopes for this build. I really, really did, but Anyway, totally fine. So then over the other side of the room, he has a very fancy stove. It kind of reminds me of like a professional chef's stove, but the ones we've got from Dine Out are not like this at all. They're like actual proper freaking cooking stations, and that's not the vibe at all. So I think in order to recreate this, I'm just gonna put two stoves next to each other. It's a gas stove, so I think we're gonna go with this one maybe, because this one is a gas stove and it's got the steel look. Oh, actually, I was going to say this is the only other one that I think, and it's from Jungle Adventure, but I think it's actually better. I think it's actually way better than the one that I had from the base game. No worries, let's pop two of them there then. I think it looks way more accurate than the other ones did. And that is actually all of the furniture on the inside of Cephalobot's house now done. So that's interesting. I'm disappointed with the inside of this house. I was really hoping for a lot more. But anyway, totally fine. You still very much get the vibe. That really is what's important with these builds, is just being able to get the vibe. So with that being said, now that we've done the inside furnishing and all of that, I'm now going to do some landscaping. I'm going to try and make myself feel better about this house. I love how it looks from the outside. I feel like the outside is great. A little bit disappointed with the inside, but I'm going to do my absolute best to try and make myself feel really good about this house. So I'm going to engage decorating mode. I'm going to do that off camera so that I can listen to some music and cheer myself up a little bit while I do the landscaping. And I will see you once Cephalobot's house is fully landscaped.
1 hour later.
You guys, I officially love Cephalobot's house now. I actually, when I was doing some landscaping, I did some lot decorating as well, to put some decor stuff out there. I actually found something to go inside that I think works way better than what I had before, and now I really do love Cephalobot's house. The landscaping is what made it. I absolutely leaned in on the space theme. So with that being said, this is Cephalobot's house. Landscaped, fully decorated. Yeah, went in with the space theme. Love the vibes. So I saw when I was going through and trying to find stuff from Get Famous before that we had this little, like, it's a part of a set, like a movie set, like it's a UFO crash site. And I just thought, when else am I ever gonna use that? So I put it there, and then I already knew I wanted to put the observatory in there as well, just because it ties in with this space theme that is like the interior of Cephalobot's house. I also used so much landscaping, and a lot of landscaping that gives me this kind of like alien world vibe. I mentioned in the letter Y house, these trees, I don't know if you're going to be able to see them very well because they kind of blend in with other stuff, but there's these trees that kind of look very alien-esque. I think they actually do come from Get to Work, so it's like they would be perfect on 6am. So they were the beginnings of the landscaping, and then I just found everything else along the way. All this stuff that looks like it would really fit into an alien world kind of landscape. It looks a little bit funky, a little bit strange, a bit sci-fi. So I love the front of this house. I think it looks absolutely adorable. On the sides of this house, it's pretty empty, but I did put the vines from Strangerville on the sides of the house as well, just to add to that extra sci-fi element that we've got going on. And I love the vibes. When I set out today, I wasn't quite thinking we were gonna go full space, full UFO vibes. But here we freaking are, and I'm so glad because it looks so good. So with that being said, let's go inside because there is something I have to show you. I switched out the mission control desks from the astronaut career to something else instead, something that looks just way freaking better. This is a tactical screen. It comes from Journey to Batuu, and it's in like the bases for like the First Order and stuff. So that just has like the exact vibes. That is exactly what Cephalobot had in the corner. It's so big though that I couldn't get to, and I should have looked at Journey to Batuu before. So that is Cephalobot's house on the inside and on the outside, and I'm super freaking happy with how that came together. If you would like to download Cephalobot's house for yourself. Maybe you've got a little neighborhood of all of my Animal Crossing builds that I've done so far. It will be on the gallery. My gallery ID is sezrawrr, the same way that it's spelled here, and you will find it under Cephalobot's acnh house. The photos, it looks so freaking cool. Stoked with that. It is not a functional house, like I said throughout this video. It's not a functional house, but you could easily get rid of some of the furniture and make it like a functional house if you wanted to. But I'm just super happy with the vibes, like the space. How good does that look out the front, and like the observatory and everything? Super cute, and it didn't use too many packs, which is nice as well. It still used a lot, but not as many as I really thought that it would. So there it is. It's on the gallery for you right now if you would like to download it yourself. But you guys, that's all I've got for this video of building Cephalobot's Animal Crossing New Horizons house in The Sims 4. I was so disheartened halfway through this build, and then it all came together again, and I really, really like this one. This one's going to be one of my favorites, I think, out of all of them. So with that being said, if you would like to see more of me do this again with more villages from Animal Crossing or any other Sims content that I've got coming your way, hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell next to it to be notified of every time that I upload. And if you liked this video, let me know by hitting the like button down below and leave me a comment as well. Leave me the octopus emoji in the comments down below to let me know that you got this far in the video, you love how Cephalobot's house came out in The Sims 4, and you would like to see me do this again with another villager from Animal Crossing's home. But guys, I hope you're having the greatest day ever, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!